Welcome to the annual Employer Reconciliation SARS webinar. My name is Angelique Devonier and I'll be taking you through the RSA submission process on the payroll. What is the annual Employer Reconciliation SARS submission? The annual Employer Reconciliation SARS submission for employers covers a 12-month transaction period from the 1st of March 2021 to 28 February 2022. During the reconciliation period, employers are required to submit an EMP 501 return confirming or correcting the amounts declared for pay-as-you-earn, the Skills Development Levy, the Unemployment Insurance Fund, and the Employment Tax Incentive, as well as the payments made and the tax values of the employee tax certificates. Why should the annual Employer Reconciliation SARS submission be submitted? The annual Employer Reconciliation ensures that employees' RP5 IT3As are correct and can be issued on time. The reconciliation and submission of the EMP 501 return and the tax certificates to SARS must take place within the dates announced from year to year, known to us as the employer's filing season. Failure to do so may result in penalties and interest. The submission period for this year will be the 1st of April 2022 to 31 May 2022. The agenda for today will be preparation for the submission, reconciliation procedure, and submission to SARS. Let's start with the preparation for the submission. What is the latest version of my payroll system? The latest payroll release is Release 5.8a. The payroll version can be verified on the company list screen or on the main menu of your payroll system. Release 5.8a should have been installed for the new tax year, which would have been March 2022. The annual Employer Reconciliation submission must be submitted on Release 5.7a or 5.7b. For Classic and Premier customers, you will need to download the software and update your payroll system manually if you are not yet on either 5.7a or 5.7b. For Sage Business Cloud Payroll Professional customers, the update will be deployed automatically. The system will update automatically once you access the system and select the option Update Now. Do I need to make a copy system for the annual Employer Reconciliation submission? Yes, for the annual Employer Reconciliation submission, you need a copy system or tax year end instance of the payroll at the end of February. The annual Employer Reconciliation must be performed from the copy system or the tax year end instance. The annual Employer Submission RP5 file will contain the year-to-date figures from March to February. Ensure that you are in the final tax period of the tax year. You can also confirm on the Basic Company Information screen. Click the Period Information BB button and confirm that the tax year end tick is activated. All year-to-date corrections that are made for the submission will be required for the final tax certificates and should be done in the copy system or tax year end instance. We are now moving forward to the SARS submission process. The purpose of the utility is to assist you with the successful completion of the SARS submission process. To access this utility, from the main menu, click on Utilities, select the RSA submission, select SARS submission process. Perform each of the steps. Once a step was completed, tick Step Complete. Once all steps on the Preparation tab have been completed, you will be allowed to proceed with the steps on the Submission tab. Please note, where available, the Step Help and Guide button will provide more information relating to the relevant step. The SARS Submission folder. For Classic and Premier customers, as soon as you select SARS Submission Process or the OID report, A SARS submission folder will be created in your payroll directory. All the documentation, files, and backups that are generated during the RSA submission procedure will automatically be saved here. At the end of the process, you will receive path confirmation and details regarding everything you need to save for 5 years. You can then either leave it here or copy it to another data storage device. When a company rolls into the beginning of a new tax year, all the files in this folder will be deleted. Please take note not to roll over your copy system or tax year end instance. For Sage Business Cloud Payroll Professional, the files will be downloaded into the selected folder as defined on your browser or by default to the Downloads folder. Let's move to the preparation. Step 1 of the preparation phase will be to validate company information on the basic company information screen. This will include registered or trade name of the company, the physical address of the company, trade classification code, tax registration number. This will also include the pay-as-you-earn reference number, UIF reference number, and the SCL reference number. Diplomatic indemnity indicator if applicable, RP5 contact person details, the person to address reconciliation queries to, standard industry classification code, known to us as the SIC code, that's available on the Employment Tax Incentive tab, special economic zone if applicable. Step 2. Validate IRP5, IT3A, warnings and errors. Click on the Step 2 button to run the validation report. This report will print all validation warnings and errors, and on the last page guidelines on how these errors and fields can be corrected. We have a dedicated year-end center that can assist with the validation errors, but will be discussed later in this session. As an alternative, you can run the IRP5 IT3A report from the Report and Maintenance menu and select the Validation Only option on the IRP5 action required. All errors and warnings identified on the validation report should be corrected on the payroll. Step 3. Validate additional information. Click on the Step 3 button to validate the additional employee's information. An extra report will generate containing the employee's information. This information on the extra report should be reviewed and verified. The employee information screen should also be verified per employee. If the validation report indicated that there are information outstanding, this report will be valuable to confirm if the information is outstanding or incorrect. Step 4. Validate the retirement fund values. Click on the Step 4 button to validate the retirement fund values. An Excel report will generate containing the retirement fund values per employee. Verify retirement fund income values per month for all employees contributing towards a hybrid or defined benefit fund and adjust where necessary. You will need to validate that the employee was linked to the correct fund and that the contribution values are correct. Generate retirement fund report real number 765 per month to use for further verification. If this report is not available on the Report and Maintenance screen, the report can be imported using the Batch Import Report function. Now we move to the reconciliation procedure as all the information was validated. The main report to use for the reconciliation will be the EMP 501 Recon report. How do I print the EMP 501 reconciliation report? The EMP 501 report consists of the summary report that prints company totals for pay-as-you-earn, STL, UIF, and ETI per month, as well as a detailed report that prints information per employee per month. With the reconciliation procedure, the values on the payroll must reconcile to the values paid to SARS. To print the report, select the RSA submission process under Utilities. Select Step 5, Reconcile EMP 501 values. Select Step 5.1, Print EMP 501 Reconciliation History Report. Select reconciliation periods March to February. Select to export the report for current or multiple companies. If you select multiple companies, companies with the same pay-as-you-earn number and that are in the same month will reflect for selection. If the company does not reflect, check the pay-as-you-earn number on the basic company information screen. You can also confirm the calendar month on the period information BB screen, also available on the basic company information screen. Once you select it to include current or multiple companies, click Continue. Select Yes to import the values into Excel. Determine the total pay-as-you-earn, STL, UIF, and ETI values paid to SARS according to your receipts. Complete the value on the EMP 501 reconciliation spreadsheet in the yellow column. The report will indicate if there are any differences per month. The EMP 501 reconciliation report is also available under History, Reports, EMP 501 reconciliation. The basic reconciliation procedure. Are there months that are not balancing? If no, and all the months balance, then no further action are required. The IRP5 file can now be created from the payroll system to import into EasyFile system. If yes, there are differences, determine the specific employee where there are variances. For tax, STL, and UIF differences, print the 12-month reports and the history report to identify the record for differences. Please note, reconciling is one of the most important aspects of your payroll processing. If the total tax paid to SARS according to the SARS receipts do not reconcile with the total tax on the payroll system, we strongly recommend that you arrange a consultation. Possible reasons for not reconciling. Your RP5 and pay-as-you-earn paid to SARS totals will not reconcile if during the tax year changes were made in your company after the EMP 201 report was printed and the liabilities were paid to SARS, and you did not reprint your EMP 201 report and pay over any differences. These changes include terminating of an employee after printing reports, changing the when taxable column on an earning definition, changing the tax deductibility column for a deduction definition, changing employee information such as an IRP5 start date or a tax status, adding a new employee after printing reports, loading an update in the wrong period or after printing reports, changing employees to average or normal tax after printing reports, changing the provision for tax on annual bonus, adjusting values on the history screen. Which reports can I use to complete my reconciliation? The following reports will assist you in cases where the tax, UIF, STL, or ETI amounts deducted from employees do not balance to values paid over to SARS. The reports will provide you with detailed financial information per employee for the periods in question. We suggest that you print the report for the months and for the employees in question. When printing reports, it will automatically be saved to the SARS submission folder created in your payroll directory for Classic and Premier users. The history report reflects figures for the previous 11 months, including the current period, The values on the screen are also the values used for creating and printing the employee's RP5 certificates. The history report enables you to print the figures displayed on the screen to assist with doing reconciliations. The 12-month report prints the previous 12-month totals per employee as stored when starting a new month. This is useful when reconciling tax, UIF, and STL. The ETI history report reflects information per employee per month per calendar year and can be used to assist with reconciling ETI values. We also have the ETI validation tool that can assist, and this will be discussed later in this session. How do I print the history screen report? Select the RSA submission process under Utilities. Select Step 5, Reconcile EMP 501 values. Select to print reports. Select History Screen Report. Tick the item included in a tax reconciliation tick box at the bottom of the first selection screen and click on Continue. You can include terminations, select detail reports, indicate the specific month where there is a difference. We suggest that you print every month then individually, and click on Continue. Please take note that values on the history screen report will differ from the values on the 12-month report if manual adjustments has been made on the history screen of the employee. How do I print a 12-month report? Select the RSA submission process under Utilities. Select Step 5, Reconcile EMP 501 values. Select to print reports. Select 12-month report. Select the range of the months for which the report must be printed. The end of the range will default to the current period. For tax reconciliation purposes, ensure that you only include the months in the tax year. Select to print Tax Reconciliation Report. The Tax Reconciliation Report is part of the 12-month report and shows taxable earnings, taxable company contributions, tax-deductible deductions, and perks tax items that influence the tax calculation. This report will also indicate when an operator made manual adjustments during the year. How do I print the ETI History Report? Select the RSA submission process under Utilities. Select Step 5, Reconcile EMP 501 values. Select to print reports. Select ETI History Report. The following selections can be made on the second report selection screen. Select the year. Select the 12 months to be included based on the calendar year. Include totals for the report. Totals per month per column will be included if this field is ticked. Include terminations. All terminated employees will be included. The ETI validation tool was made available for Release 5.5b. What is the function of this tool? The ETI validation tool validates the ETI period, ETI set, as well as selected setup-related issues for the current tax year. The tool will allow you to export the data, do corrections where required, and import the corrected information into the payroll to ensure that the year-end submission to SARS will be correct. How do I run the validation utility? From Release 5.5b and higher, the ETI validation utility was included in all the updates. To access this utility, from the main menu, click on Utilities, select ETI, select ETI validation. What is the difference between a test run and a live one when you run the RP5 IT3 report? The test run allows you to generate a file and import it into EasyFile without importing any data into the system. You can test the integrity of the file and check for any additional import validations in EasyFile. You can still generate a file and print out reports, certificates, even if it failed the validation in EasyFile. This can assist in troubleshooting problems or get an RP5 or IT3A certificate. You can create multiple test runs. A live run is the indication that the final certificates will be submitted to SARS via EasyFile. The file will import the payroll data and the certificates into EasyFile. You can reset a live run. However, you should not reset a live run if you have already submitted your information to SARS. A warning message: company will not export due to the fact that the tax year end has already been done. A live run indicates the final submission file was imported into EasyFile. The warning message appears when you select a company where a live run has already been exported. Company 1 will not export due to the fact that the tax year end run has already been done. You are prompted to select one of the options. To reset the live run, click Yes. The live run will reset. Certificate numbers will be removed. New certificate numbers will be allocated to the employees. Do not reset a live run if you already submitted your certificates to SARS, because otherwise a resubmission in EasyFile also needs to be done. How do I generate a test IRP5 file? Select the RSA submission process under Utilities. Select Step 6, Perform Test Run. Select Tax Year End. There will be a selection option to select if this run must be done for a current company or multiple companies. Once selected, the current company or multiple companies, verify the company information. Select to print the IRP5 IT3A reports. This will include your summary and your recon report. No printing for the print tax certificate for the test run. Enter on the start and end employee. Save the IRP file in the default destination or select a new destination. The test file can now be imported into EasyFile to ensure it is successful. The IRP5 file name will default to IRP5 test.22. The name of the file can be changed, and it is suggested to be changed if the test run will be created in the same directory for multiple companies with different pay-as-you-earn numbers to avoid any confusion. We thus advise that you change the name in the front so that the extensions remain IRP5.22. Example will be Company 001 IRP5 test.22. No spaces in the name. We are moving now forward to the submission process. How do I generate a live IRP5 file? Select RSA submission process under Utilities. Select Step 8, Perform a live run. Select Tax Year End. Select Live Run. Select current or multiple companies. Verify the company information. Select to print IRP5 IT3A reports. This will include the summary and the recon report. Select blank paper for print tax certificate. Enter on the start and end employee. Save the IRP file in your default destination or select a new destination. Once the live run was completed and imported into EasyFile, it is important to keep our information relating to the tax year end safe. We thus advise that you make a backup. From the main menu, select Utilities, select Backup, select Data for all companies backup if this live run or tax year end was completed for all the companies in your directory. How do I import the IRP file into EasyFile? It is very important that you need to be on the latest release of EasyFile for your submission. The current release is 7.2.4. If you have EasyFile already installed on your computer, once you access the software, you will be notified on any available updates. To download the latest SARS EasyFile software, you can make use of the website www.sarsefiling.co.za. To import the file into EasyFile, access your EasyFile software. Click on Import Export Payroll File. Select Import Payroll File and select OK. Browse to the location of your RP5 file. We do advise that you make use of a local disk. EasyFile will now validate the file. A message should display indicating that the file has passed validations. This is now the final step of the SARS submission on your payroll system. If it passed with warnings, it means that you will be able to submit, but you may be liable to pay penalties to SARS for outstanding information. You will be prompted to confirm that you would like to import the file. Select Yes. You will receive a message stating that the file has been successfully imported and you can click on OK. To check for errors in EasyFile, click on Utilities, Import Payroll File Log. The Fail tab will indicate the errors which are preventing the file from importing successfully. These errors must be corrected in the payroll system. A live run file exported again and re-imported into EasyFile. The Warnings tab will indicate items that might cause penalties. Important information for your annual Employer Reconciliation Submission. The RP5 IT3A report available on the Reports and Maintenance screen with the real number 507 can also be used for this process. Tax certificates submission files may only be produced on the latest SAGE software release applicable to the tax year. For the tax 2022 tax year, the release would have been Release 5.7a or 5.7b. Ensure all the required fields are completed to avoid any rejections or possible penalties. Download the latest SARS EasyFile software to enable you to submit your RP5 IT3A files to SARS. This can be found on www.sarsefiling.co.za. Submit your reconciliation before the deadline to avoid any penalties and interest being charged. The deadline for this tax year will be 31 May 2022. As mentioned earlier in the session, we have a dedicated tax year-end center on Sage City. Explore our Sage City channel, the Sage Year-End Center, to get immediate and 24-hour access to all the information you need to complete your tax year-end and EMP 501 reconciliation. Sage Year-End Center offers the below resources with fast answers in the busiest time of the year. These resources will include articles containing year-end specific topics, checklists, and guides. There is also common validation areas available to assist you with your validation areas for tax year end. We also have additional help options to ensure that you always get the best support from us. The following channels can be used depending on your query. How to and in-app messages. This tool is easy accessible as it's on your main menu and has a wealth of step-by-step processes for absolutely everything that the system offers. To access the help file, click on Help, How To. You can search the index for a function or a known issue. In-app messages appears on the main menu with important information and is updated on a regular basis. Please check that the in-product information was activated on the Company Miscellaneous tab 3. Sage City is our official online community for all our customers, colleagues, and business partners. We also post important information, trending issues, share ideas, or you can post a question. Knowledge Base is the new home for our resource articles written by our Sage support analysts. You can access the Knowledge Base by going to www.sagekb.com. PEG is our digital online support assistant. Type in a question to ask PEG and PEG will provide a solution. PEG will learn based on the questions you ask, so the more questions PEG gets, the better experience it will be. Live chats. If you find yourself in a situation where you just have a quick question and do not want to wait in the telephone support queue, please pop us a question on live chat. Please take note that this service can be very busy, so please keep your questions short and sweet. Support portal and web forms. If you require payroll assistance and is not an urgent query, please submit your query or request via web form. To access the portal, click on Help, Support, access the support portal. To submit a query or request, click on the web form icon. Consultation. This is an extremely valuable channel of support, as you have undivided attention of a consultant to assist with multiple or complex queries or setup changes. To book a consultation, access the company, click on Help, Book a consultation to submit your request. PEG was recently introduced on Sage Business Cloud Payroll Professional. Meet PEG, our digital online support assistant. Please assist us in training PEG. If PEG's answer was helpful, please give us a thumbs up. If PEG misunderstood you, please give us a thumbs down. We also have YouTube. We are creating videos to assist our customers with a better understanding of product functions and payroll concepts. Access YouTube and search your product name for available videos. Sage Business Cloud Payroll Professional or Sage 200C VIP, Sage Classic and Premier. Example for videos that is available that will assist you with the tax sharing process will be how to create a copy system, how to create a tax share end instance, how to create a test run, how to create a live run, how to register on Sage City. If you need training, use Sage University. If you have a question, use our knowledge base. If you need advice, use Sage City. Thank you for attending the session. I hope it was valuable and you experienced a quick and easy submission. Have a lovely day further, and I hope to chat to you again in our future webinars.